and welcome to what is now a regular occurrence. We're going to be coming to you Monday evenings with predictions for our Champions League action, and then we will be coming to you on Thursday evenings with Premier League predictions. Or, if it's midweek Premier League action, then we'll put it on that on Monday episode. But the Tuesday and Friday morning episodes for recaps will continue without any sort of delay. With that bit of programming notage out of the way, let's say we go and hop into our Champions League. Last day of the first half of the group stage of the whole tournament. Wow, what a momentous occasion it is. What do you say? We just hop, as I say, every single... you think I'd mix up my verbiage every now and then. I'm not even going to say it. Why don't we move along into the next thing, which is the main thing, which is our predictions for the Champions League. Starting with, as you might imagine, Group A. Group A action. Galatasaray hosts Bayern Munich in the early match, one of the early matches, and Manchester United takes on Copenhagen there at Old Trafford. I have this one because Manchester United needs some points here. They are hot dog water right now in the Champions League, sitting on 0 points is what I believe it is. Confirmation is yes, 0 points. So I think they take Copenhagen to task because Copenhagen's not good. I think Manchester United's apparently figured a couple things out, maybe. I mean, I don't want them to, but they seem to have. So I think they take that 2-0, and I think that Bayern Munich is too much to handle for Galatasaray and takes care of business 2-1 there, all the way over in Turkey.
Yeah, I have Bayern as a 3-1 win.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's Bayern. They're going to handle Galatasaray. It's going to be Turkey, so it'll be hostile as Turkey can be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Bayern, they end up taking it. Man U, I think they draw Copenhagen 0-0. It's at Old Trafford. They've been getting lucky domestically. And I think Copenhagen holds them to a stalemate. And the Champions League hot seat gets even hotter.
Definitely gets hotter. I mean, it's their first point. You'd think on 5 goals 4, you'd get some points out of it. But when you give up 7, that ain't going to cut it, Jimmy. Who's Jimmy in this scenario? Who's to say? We'll move down to Group B with, as we all expected, Linz leading the group, obviously. They take on PSV, who is sitting on a single point, so that's great for them. And then Sevilla and Arsenal with the fight for second place currently. Although in just one match day, this could totally change. Will this be the match day? No, it won't. I've got this as a 1-1 draw for both matches. Nothing changes after this one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have 1-1 draw for Sevilla Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Linz, I have them winning 3-1.
3-1, you say?
I think Linz is they're at home. PSV isn't that great.
No.
And I think these Eredivisie type teams, they're going to be good at home, but they're not going to be good away. So I think they get beat by Linz.
Kind of in the same boat as Copenhagen, only not as good, essentially. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Linz has done well. I mean, for being kind of a latecomer to this group stage, as far as qualification purposes, they've shown up. Group C action, we've got Braga. Wait, right? Yes, Braga hosting Real Madrid, and we've got Union Berlin hosting Napoli. I think. Listen, okay. Union Berlin's had it rough. Like, they've played very well and are on no points at all because of some truly late game heroics by their opponents. I think they finally figured out here. They've got a great home side. Their fans travel, but at home, that place is rocking 24/7. Well, probably not 24/7, but at least when they're playing,
24/7.
24/7, they're rocking. I think they take care of this one also because because I feel like it, they went 3-0. A true shocker of a result.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going 2-1. Union winning.
Okay.
I don't see Napoli being able to get points here. Napoli, they might have a big name, but they're not as big this year.
Mm-hmm.
I want a setback year. Now, Real Madrid, I think they take it 4-1.
4-1 for Real
I think
Madrid.
they might give up a goal early first half, but I think the guys they have, the wingers, Jude Bellingham in the middle, it's going to be too much for Braga.
He's so good. I've got this one being a little bit closer because I think Braga's done all right at home. I think that it's a 2-1 victory for Real Madrid, so it keeps Braga in it, especially with Napoli losing. Basically, will put through Real Madrid to the group to the knockout stage and leaves a very interesting. I mean, if our results hold here, that holds out to a very interesting last half of the group stage because they'll be at 3 teams at 3. Basically, it resets the whole thing for those guys. And Real Madrid can pretty much coast. Pretty much. And then we'll move down to Group D with our other early match for Tuesday. Inter taking on Salzburg. RB Salzburg, and I say it like that every single time. And then Benfica hosts Real Sociedad. Back to that version of Real Sociedad. For no reason at all. I think this Benfica Real Sociedad one, I think this one's boring. I think this one's a 0-0 draw snoozer. That the early match is a little bit more. No, not really. It's 1-0 for Inter Milan. Over for RB Salzburg. Because Inter's not scoring, but guess what they're doing even less? Giving up goals.
Sure. Yeah, I think Inter wins 3-0. I think they handle Salzburg. I think Benfica and Real Sociedad have been playing well domestically. Real Sociedad not as well as Benfica. Maybe that's competition. I think I'm going to go 1-1 draw. After giving it thought and consideration and deeply praying to Diego Maradona. He's telling me 1-1 draw. So the hand of God is telling me.
I mean, 1-1. Seems like as good a reason as any. I don't know what you're taking that you're seeing Diego Maradona, but I'll leave that between you and him, I guess. Excuse me. To the Wednesday action now. Early in the day, we've got Feyenoord and Lazio, the match everyone's looking forward to. And then also, Celtic takes on Atletico Madrid up there in Scotland land. I feel like that's a bit redundant. It's Scotland. Scotland land. I'm sure they appreciate that. Feels like they would. I feel like the Scots really would appreciate me saying something like that. I think that this one is Lazio's not very good. I mean, they're fine. I don't think they're going anywhere in the group stages. It's an interesting matchup, I think, between Lazio and Feyenoord because they've both had some pretty good results, but they've also not shown that they're unbeatable for sure. So I think that Lazio actually takes this to Feyenoord 4-1, oddly enough, and kind of solidifies their position there at second in the group. I wish Celtic. We had Celtic going through both of us at top of this group. Mm-hmm. I think they take a step. I think they take one step, as in a single point, as in a 0-0 draw. A 2-2 draw. That's what I had. 2-2 draw between themselves and Celtic and Atletico Madrid with like a late game equalizer from Celtic to like really get the fans going.
Yeah, I think Celtic, kind of like the breeze underneath a kilt. There seems to be some hope, but they realize it's just the wind against themselves. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think it's going to end up being 2-1 Atletico Madrid. I think Celtic gets an early goal. There's hope. Slowly but surely, Atletico slays that hope. And just beats them.
Works the way back into it. That shows like, hey, we're Atletico Madrid. We know how to win matches. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's probably much more likely because Celtic's not good. And how about for Feyenoord and Lazio for you?
I think Feyenoord is going to show Lazio at home what the Dutch can do. I think they're going to end up winning 3-2. Feyenoord beating Lazio. I think Lazio takes an early lead and Feyenoord storms back and wins with some late game heroics.
Yeah. That would be exciting. Good for Feyenoord. Okay, and then down to Group F, Group of Death, which just like how we all had Lens up at the top, we all had Newcastle first on this one, right? I mean, obviously Newcastle is going to be in first. They figured something out, Newcastle. They figured out how to not let in goals. They take on Dortmund at St. James's Park, and then PSG hosts AC Milan at Parc des Princes. What you got here for these two, this set of dueling matches?
As we saw, Newcastle started off the season not so hot.
Lackluster, to put it politely.
And as I speculated, the Saudis probably had a meeting with them, and they said, hey, we have money, and you guys are dispensable. Whatever they meant by dispensable, the players understood. Mm-hmm. Because since then, they've maybe given up one goal and scored 17, 18 goals. I think they continue that. I think they win 4-1 against Dortmund.
4-1. Ooh.
I'm going to give Dortmund a goal. I wasn't thinking they'd get it, but after further thought, I'm going to give them a goal.
It's a little bit of that residual, like, hey, listen, you helped put our boy Christian Pulisic on the map, so like you can have one.
You can have one. Hopefully, it's Gio Reyna,
who's been doing quite well for the national team.
He has been doing well for them. Now, AC Milan, PSG. I think AC Milan goes into PSG and they draw 2-2.
2-2.
I think they get a draw. They show PSG that, just because you have money doesn't mean that we Italians can't show you how to play some football. So 2-2.
2-2 draw. I have nothing similar to you. I actually have PSG going 2-0 over AC Milan. AC Milan has not scored so far in the Champions League. I don't think it changes. Similarly, in initial position, Dortmund has not scored so far. They typically score like lots of goals. I'm going to give them some here. I think it's a 2-2 draw with Newcastle and Dortmund. I think it's very exciting. I think it's entertaining. And I think that Newcastle comes at it with a little bit of a bitter taste in their mouth. Like, we should have probably won this one and kind of solidified ourselves at the top of the group. Now that we've found this sudden form that rose seemingly out of nowhere. Apparently it was from some sort of extortion from Saudis. But, that's nothing new in the world. So we will move on from Group F to Group G, also known as Man City's going to win it. They are sitting on top pretty with a spotless record. And they are playing... They are going over to Young Boys Place. And then it is Leicester hosting... Leicester. Rip Leicester. RB Leipzig, obviously, it's RB Leipzig. RB Leipzig hosts Svernesvedja. It's a lot of sibilant S's in there. Svernesvedja. How do you have this shaking out? Does Erling Haaland figure something out for the Champions League? That's the big question.
Man City is going to be going after the young boys like a Catholic priest after match. It's going to feel illegal at times. I think it's going to be 8-0.
8-0. No, seriously. 8-0.
Haaland gets 4 goals. I'm doubling down on it. 8-0.
A double brace.
And that's because Pep Guardiola pulls him out in like the 60th minute.
Wow. 4 goals within 60 minutes. Wow.
It won't be pretty.
No.
Now, RB Leipzig, I think they win 5-0. I think that, domestically, they've been playing well. I don't think Svernesvedja is good. So I'm going 5-0 Leipzig, clearly defining who the two they're going to go through.
Yeah, as we expected, it's Leipzig and Man City. I have a much more modest 5-0 for City over Young Boys. No, wait, that's a 3. My handwriting's impeccable. It's a 3.
That's a 3.
3-0. That's right. That 3-0 without any goals from good old Erling Haaland. I think it's Alvarez and good old boy Philly Foden, which I'm sure everyone calls him Philly. And then for Sweet Moses, Leipzig, RB Leipzig. I don't even know what's going on. 3-1 over Svernesvedja for similar reasons that Svernesvedja is not good. Poor Red Star Belgrade. You guys ain't good. You can make it in the Champions League, but that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And then to wrap up all the action for the midweek, we've got Group H, which is also one of the early matches. Barcelona hosting Shakhtar Donetsk there in their Barcelona Camp Nou in España. And then Antwerp hosts FC Porto. How do you have this one going?
So, fun fact, Barcelona's not playing in Camp Nou due to renovations. So they have to play, I believe it's Sociedad's arena.
Oh, that changes
one of those teams that opened up their arena for Barcelona. And honestly, because of that, I don't think that changes much. I think Barcelona wins 4-1. I like Shakhtar. I had them even winning the group, I think. I think this will be the game that they end up giving away at Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
After this, I think they're impeccable. They're perfect. This game, they're going to let Barcelona feel confident. 4-1.
Yeah, kind of give them a little cushion.
Make them feel like they're good enough. Now, Antwerp and Porto, I don't even know what to say about Antwerp. I feel like some games they play well defensively, other games they don't. I think Porto wins 2-1. I think it'll be close, but I think Porto ultimately gets the win.
I have something exactly the same for FC Porto and Antwerp. Porto they are economical in their victories. So I think it's a 2-1. A 2-1 result's kind of like stunning for them because it's more than one goal. And then for Barcelona, I tried to do it. I tried to go 1-1 Barcelona and Shakhtar, but I was like, listen, it's still Barcelona. So I moved it to 2-1. That Barcelona ends up winning. Because listen, Shakhtar, you're great. Ukraine, cool, whatever. I don't think you got it in you to beat Barcelona. And that will take us to the end of the midweek action. We will be back tomorrow with our preview, our recap of the Premier League action. There we go. I can remember what I'm talking about, and we will see what happens in the last day of the first half of the group stage of the Champions League tournament. It's so great, and I'm glad that you're here with us. In the meantime, why don't you go ahead and grab some coffee, watch some Scrooge.
Some Leicester City soccer.
Watch some Leicester City soccer. And we will see you tomorrow. Yom Zoom. Try to figure out what language that is.